about what this YouTube channel is about. I've got some notes because I'm not going to remember all of it, and why we're on the journey that we're on. Right, basically, we call ourselves right now full-time RV wannabes, I guess. Yeah. So we're heading towards being full-time RVers, but we're not close yet. We've taken some steps to get there. So we've been on this journey of finding our own freedom, whatever that means for us, for a while, and I think everybody kind of gets on that journey at some point or another. And you know, a lot of it had to do with work and not really wanting to have a 9-to-5 job, definitely going down the entrepreneurial path a lot more than, say, the 9-to-5, and not that there's anything wrong with that at all. It's just this is our path, and you know what we view freedom as, and it definitely comes with making our own hours more so than having somebody else make them for us. Not that doesn't mean we're not super busy or whatever. Everybody's busy, but it's just your own version of busy and freedom and stuff like that.
Where do you want to put your energy?
Right. Where do you want to put your energy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we've definitely been on that kind of a journey for a while. And in the mix of that, and I don't know where it came from, well, partly we like watch a lot of people on YouTube who are like-minded because you learn a lot from other people, and if you're not surrounded by those kind of people, you have to find it a different way. And for us in this day and age in social media, YouTube is one of the ways to find it. So I think Chris was watching some YouTube videos at one point. I don't know if this is how it happened, and he ran across some full-time RVers. Is that kind of how we...
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while now. I don't know. It's been like at least maybe it's been a year now since we stumbled across it. Yeah. And I came home one day from like shopping or whatever, and he just kind of randomly says, "So, what if we became full-time RVers?" And he says things sometimes that I think he's serious about, and other times I think it's more of a hypothetical. And this time, he might have meant it hypothetically, but boy, I took it serious. I was like, yep. I jumped on that one like crazy. Yeah, and I said, yes, I'm down with that one. And I think for me, I'm definitely more of the bugs are biting my feet.
Flies.
Flies.
South Carolina flies.
Yeah. They're trying to steal my coffee too. So for me, personally, I'm definitely more of a gypsy kind of a person. I didn't move around as a kid, but I wanted to. I was always begging my parents to move. But my dad's a pastor, and the parsonage we lived in had like 6 bedrooms. And so I did what I could to be a gypsy within that house. And I think I moved bedrooms like at least once a year. And even to the point that one time I was in a bedroom that was a really large bedroom, but it had a walk-in closet. I stuck my bed in there, and the rest of the bedroom was, you know, like I was always just moving and changing things, and it didn't matter to me to the size of the bedroom or where my bed was. I picked a really tiny bedroom once. I mean, it was like a closet almost, where, you know, I put my bed, my dresser, everything in there. It didn't matter to me. It was a change. and maybe there's something wrong with me there with always needing to change, but I was definitely more of a gypsy.
But then she gets mad at me if I move the
couch around,
the living room around.
This is true.
Stop wanting to change.
I like my kind of change, not his kind of change. Yeah. Marriage, you gotta roll with it, right? So, anyway, and then, but I did get to go on a pretty cool trip. I don't remember how old I was, but every year my family went on a camping vacation. That's just what vacation was in my family. We went camping, tent camping. And one year we took a vacation that lasted a month, and we visited all the hot spots in the United States that are the main attractions, you know, Mount Rushmore, Grand Canyons, Grand Tetons. Yeah, I don't even know. It took us a month, and we stayed at each place for at least a few days, sometimes longer. So we saw a lot of stuff, and I've thought about that a lot in my life, my adult life as a parent, and we've talked about someday we want to take our kids on a trip, something like that. Like, I loved it so much. So many wonderful memories came from just traveling the country and seeing what America has to offer, that I wanted to share that with our kids. So when he said, let's go full-time RVing, that's what my mind, you know, went to, was, wow, to do that full-time and to be able to slow down and visit every place for a long time and not just have to rush through it because it's a vacation. that really spoke volumes to me. So I was on it like crazy. And so he tried to back out of it at one point. I'm like, nope, it's out there now. So we're doing this, and that's all there is to it. And we're not there yet. One of the things we've learned from watching a lot of full-time RVers is they all say that once they decided to go full-time, it was at least a year before they made it out onto the road. So I don't know when we officially decided we're definitely doing this. It's probably only been 3 or 4 months. So we're still under that year mark.
Still researching.
Still researching. Our favorite RV right now is the open range. We've got 5 kids, which if you've seen any other videos, you know that. So we need something with a bunkhouse.
A lot of room.
A lot more room. Not willing to go to anything super small, but we don't want anything really huge either, because then that limits you from getting into certain places. We don't know much, but we know these few things, right?
But the plan is to stay longer where we stay, instead of, you know, every week, you know, pick up and move, and then, you know, we don't want to treat it like a vacation. We want to treat it like we're
living
home. We're just on the road, right?
Any of those little fun things.
So we want to have enough room. I know you're not going to have a lot of room, but have enough room to where we can survive
and not
without
be
killing each other.
Killing each other, 5 kids.
Yeah.
Although our oldest may or may not come with us. She's 18 and graduated recently. She's got some plans of her own, so she may not be in this a whole lot with us. And so anyway, we'll see how that goes.
So we're still learning.
Still learning. So some of the things that we do know, they're not much. What we do know are the ambiguous things. We know it's not going to be perfect. Like we know that we're in danger right now of having these rose-colored glasses on, of what it might be like, because we haven't done it. We've not even taken like a what do you call it? A dawn voyage, a test voyage. We don't have an RV yet. We haven't purchased one. We want to be able to do that without debt. So we're kind of playing around with how and when that's going to happen, which is one of the reasons we don't have one yet. We don't want to increase our debt with this decision we've made. We want it to be financially sound. Anyway, so we don't know anything about taking care of it, but so we know it won't be perfect. We know we'll get on each other's nerves probably.
Yes.
We know that we're still taking us with us, so therefore any issues we have with us are still going to come with us. And we have to figure out how to work it out in a smaller space. We don't know what this means, but we know this is what it is going to be like. We know that we are going to learn a lot about ourselves and about each other. And we understand that it's really experience that's going to teach us about all of this. You know, you can read in a book and you can watch other people's videos on how to empty a black tank or a gray tank, or how to boondock with your size family and your size rig, all that kind of stuff. But we'll not actually learn it until we're out on the road doing it. So. And I learn better
by doing. I learned better by doing and screwing it up.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. I can't read directions and do it. I just have to.
No, let's rephrase that.
I have
you
to
won't
do it
read
and
directions.
break it. and then say, oh, that's how I broke it.
So don't do that again. And this is going to frustrate me because I'm a rule follower and I like reading directions. So this is going to be fun. Yeah, we'll figure this out. Anyway, so as he mentioned before, we do plan on going a lot slower, at least initially. I don't know if we'll pick up the pace or whatever, but to the point of even staying in a place for a month before moving on to the next. That's our current plan, and for 2 reasons. For one, everybody out there who does this full time always says that their first year they made the mistake of going too hard too fast, like a vacation, and they wish they had gone slower. So we're going to hope to learn that ahead of time and go slow for that reason. And number 2, for finances, we don't have any clue how this is really going to work financially. We plan to learn that as we go too, and it is what we have learned by research is that places tend to be cheaper if you stay a little bit longer, like a month. So we're going to try to feel that out first and see how long we have to stay to really budget well, or if we can make it shorter and all that kind of stuff. So that's our current plan, is to stay in each place for a month. And okay, so those are the things that we know. The things we don't know, we don't know what we don't know.
The list is shorter on the paper, but it's a lot longer.
Yeah, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, and that's the worst, not knowing.
Right.
You'll know it when you're
in the
driving down the highway.
Crap, I wish we knew that one, you know. And we're watching all these videos of you guys out there who do it full time, saying the 10 things that we've learned the hard way, and
Yeah.
we're going to watch all those, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make our own 10 mistakes or 20 or 30 and whatever.
I just want the mistakes to not be
Costly.
expensive. I want to, I guess, learn enough to where I can avoid most of the costly mistakes.
Wouldn't that be great?
that's
We're going to do it perfect. We're going to learn from you
Right.
guys, and we're not going to make any mistakes at all. Our savings is going to be so big, so when we break down, it won't be an issue.
Right.
It's going to be perfect.
Good.
Okay, skip that. Other thing I just threw on here is right now we talk about boondocking with the thought process that we'll really, really like it. But in watching a lot of other people's videos, there were some that went into it thinking that, because I'm used to rustic camping and
Primitive camping.
more primitive type, and so I feel like boondocking would be okay for me. But that being said, we have never primitive camped with our kids. This is all me growing up as a kid. I loved it. My parents took care of all the details of planning all that. So I see it all with rose-colored glasses probably, and I'm understanding that and realistic about it.
You never had to take care of anything.
Well, I mean, I had my chores, but I didn't have to do the planning, and I didn't have to make sure we had everything, and I didn't I didn't have to organize it. And I mean, I don't know what my mom dealt with. I really don't. I should interview my mom.
Yeah. And as far as camping for me, we camped out in the living room in front of the TV and ordered pizza.
Which is awesome too.
That was as primitive as we got.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't know. We think we'll like boondocking, but we'll find out. So we don't know that one. We don't know that one. And then we don't know just how mundane it's going to be. Because right now, I do feel like it's going to be kind of exciting. I think that's the notion that a lot of people have going into full-time RVing, because there are going to be adventures and all that kind of stuff. We know that, but there's going to be a lot of just normal days. But so we don't know how mundane it will be, and in trying to mentally prepare for that and be okay with it, and not get upset like that it wasn't as different or adventurous as we thought it might be, and get frustrated and quit. That's something too. But
yeah, probably the expectation. Maybe for the kids, they might be expecting more of an adventure, but I want adventure too, but I also want that freedom. I want that not not being tied down to people and to cities, and that could potentially be boring for the kids. They don't really get the freedom part necessarily. They just want to go hang.
They want to know that they can go to the beach whenever they want, or on a bike ride through a forest or whatever we're gonna do, or hiking, which we'll do all that. You brought up another expectation though of what we hope to happen, and that's he said get away from people, but I don't think you meant all people, because one of our expectations is
nice people.
Is running into, because that's one of the things we've heard from all the full-time RVers out there for the most part. It's a running theme, is that the people that you meet, the other RVers, whether they're full-time or not, are just wonderful, amazing people. And
get away from the negative people. And
the negativity, and just be around like-minded people who you know that your kids are safe with, and they come from all different walks of life, which is exciting to me, and yet everybody is still, I don't know, just positive. And I hope that that's not a,
because everybody's out here
unrealistic view.
They're either on vacation, or they're out here on purpose with the same mentality and goals that we have. So it's a nice fit, rather than going to a 9 to 5 and everybody hates their life, everybody hates their job,
which isn't always the case, but there's a lot of
in my
people who
instance
do. Yeah.
And that drags on you.
It can bring your mentality down. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, a
It's
little
hard to
more,
fight against it.
a little more carefree, I guess, but not
mentality-wise.
Not carefree, not work-free,
no, definitely not work-free.
Responsibility-free, but it's just more carefree.
So far, the steps we've gone through to get to where we want to be, there's 3 things that we have lined up already that work really well with a full-time RV lifestyle. Number one, we did just sell our house, and by just I mean about 6 months ago, and we didn't do it and go straight into an RV for one reason, and that was just simply that the market at the time was a seller's market, and we knew we'd be leaving eventually, so we just kind of jumped for it because we knew we were going to be out here eventually, and we didn't want to, whether it's a year from then or even 2 years from then, we didn't know what the market was going to be, and listening to some of our realtor friends and other things, it seemed like the market was turning down, and we'd rather not be in a place where our house, we got less for our house than we were going to. So we just went for it and we sold our house, and that was 6 months ago. So now we're renting, which may be not the best financial decision, but at the same time, it really kind of put us, selling the house put us in a, it put us in a better financial situation because we got what we wanted for it and then some. So that was a good thing. Yeah. So that was step number one. Step number two, and I already had this before, is I work remotely. So I can go wherever we want to go to in the whole world, and I can still work. And I work full-time, salary, but it's still not enough yet to support our family. So a missing link there is just transitioning Chris over to something that he can take on the road. So there's always a lot of ducks to get in a row, and so that's one of them. That everybody's got that big question: how do you make money on the road? So we're still working that one out too, and we'll help bring you along on that part of the journey as well, because I'm sure that that could be something that you might want to see. How are we making that work? I personally would like to see a little bit more freedom in my remote job too, because I'm really tied down to my desk from, as soon as I hit it in the morning to when I'm done, whenever. I'm salary, so I can pretty much be pulled into work at any moment in time, which is kind of the opposite of freedom. So, so we're working on mine even too. So anyway, there's that. And the third thing is that we already homeschool. So if you are out there and you're thinking about this, and you have kids, the only way to really continually full-time is if you are willing to homeschool your kids. If you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. You can full-time RV without that as an issue. But we already homeschool, so that's something for us that we don't have to work out on. We've been doing it now so our oldest here is 18, and she's been doing it since 6th grade, and she just graduated from high school. So, and our youngest is 5 years old. Anyway, so we've already kind of got that going for us, so that can be transportable as well. I think that's pretty much it. That was three. And in the meantime, we're going on as many road trips as we can, just to keep the dream alive, to see how it's going to be traveling, even on short trips with all of our kids. And right now it's in a van, not in an RV. And doing more RV research. But
just did an 18-hour trip to Florida, and then this 12-hour.
Yeah, it was 12 hours here.
12-hour trip to Myrtle Beach, where we're at right now.
Yeah. And actually, we'll probably do a campground review of this place in a totally different video. So if anybody's interested in staying where we're at, which is Lakewood Campground Resort, it's amazing. It's gorgeous. Different video. We'll kind of highlight some stuff about this place in case. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it for right now. If you have any questions for us that we didn't cover in here as to why we're considering, or advice, if you're already a full-timer, we would love to hear about it, so we can not make mistakes on the road and we can do it perfectly.
Yes.
All right, until next time, guys.
Bye.
Follow your